Hello friends, welcome to SQL Server tutorial. In this video, we are going to see how to create foreign key relation. We will also learn what is foreign key and how it can be used with referential integrity. So we will go with the flow of creating the new foreign key, then specifying the relation in the process. Then we will refresh the keys and see the existence of a foreign key. And in the process, we will also check how constraint violation takes place because of referential integrity. So we already learned about primary key constraint, right? So two of our tables, department contains a primary key. The primary key will be department ID on department table, and employee table, employee ID is the primary key. So we already set that. Alright, now let's learn about foreign key constraint. Foreign key are the key concept of relational database. Here, relational in the sense one table can be related to other one. So there will be a relation, and that relation can be achieved using primary and foreign key pairs. Foreign key refers a primary key usually, or in rare situation you can use a unique key column also for referring purpose. So foreign key from one table will go and refer primary key or unique key column in another table. For example, the employee table can refer the department table. That means here we are setting the relation that an employee who works for a specific department, but the tables are different. If you see, the employee table will show all the employees, department table will show all the departments, but when you set the relation, you can state that a specific employee works in a specific department. This way we can say an employee belongs to a specific department and also get all the information about the department. Say, for example, here is the employee table. Employee table contains 4 columns, and let's state there is a department table. And let's assume that department table contains 3 columns. So here, if you see, a specific column can go and point to a entry in the department table. This way, if you see, we are avoiding the redundant data, because here there is a key. That key uniquely identifies a specific row. This will be the foreign key, and here it will be the primary key. Let's state the first column is primary key column here, and in the employee table the last column is the foreign key column. So just by specifying the ID, we can point a department table, and from there we can get all the information. So if we don't have this kind of relation, then we will be repeating these 3 columns here, right? And if employee table refers other tables, let's say location ID, and there are some 4 or 5 fields, and address table, there are 6 or 7 fields. And if you see, without referential integrity, the columns in employee table will grow, and if there are multiple employees who works for a department, then these are all considered as a data waste. So you are repeating the redundant column multiple times. by using the referential integrity, that means primary and foreign key relation, we are avoiding this data repetition. Here if you see, only let's state that this is X byte and this one is Y byte. So always we will be using this X and Y byte only. We are not repeating that here, right? So that's the use of primary and foreign key. Alright, here we talked about this way. We can say employee belongs to a specific department and also can get all the information about the department. On the other hand, if you pick a specific department, if there are 20 rows pointing to that specific department, we can say there are 20 employees who belongs to this specific department. So you can go in reverse direction also, right? Here one specific row can be referred by multiple row in the employee. So if you travel back, you can state that there are 20 employees on this specific department. All employees working for a specific department. Both we can achieve using the primary foreign key relation. Alright, now we will go to the demo. We will clear out this from our previous code snippet. Alright. Now let us bring up the table designer. Here if you see database, CE tube, tables, right click on employee table and go to design view. We will add one more column called the PT department ID. So the data type here is integer, right? We will use same data type because the column here DBT ID in employee will refer department ID of test.department. I mean the department table. Alright, now we will click save here. So just saved it and we will click close. Now let's check what are all the values. So here if you see department ID is null, so we can run a update, or since it's a foreign key, let's state that these employees are not yet assigned to any specific department. If you need, you can check the existing department. To make sure how many departments exist, select star from test.department. Here if you see only 3 departments exist. Now let me edit 200 rows and assign some department for the existing users. Okay. There are 2 rows, that means employee Nancy Jane and Arun Valan. Both are not belongs to any department yet. Now we will bring up the table designer once again for employee table and for department ID. So just selected that column. Default binding we will set 1. So if any new insert happens, that means here we are assigning a default key also for this department ID. When a new table row is inserted and if a department ID is skipped, by default department 1 is assigned. That means the newly added person by default belongs to sales department. Alright, now we will save the change. So first we added department ID, then we set a default value 1, which means any new employee belongs to sales department. So that's what we did here. We haven't yet created the relation. Now we will go ahead and do that. Now let's go to test.employee. We already have constraint, check constraint and default constraint. Since it's a referential integrity, we have to go to keys. So here we can choose new foreign key. So let's accept the default name FK foreign key employee to department. So here in this foreign key relationship dialog, if you see there is a table and columns specification. Okay, we can invoke this, and here primary key table is employee, and the column what we want to map is department ID, and okay, primary key column is department. This is the foreign key table, right? We introduced a column called department ID. We will take that. So if I see primary key table department column department ID, foreign key table employee column department ID. So we named same column name in both the table. So it will be easy just by looking at the column definition itself. Is there any relation? So here in the foreign key table, if you are viewing the employee table, and if you see department ID, just by the name itself, you can know that the table here is employee related and there is some ID sitting here that belongs to department ID. So that means this specific column maps to a unique column or primary key column in the department table. So that's why here we are saying primary key is department and foreign key is employee. So now let's click OK here, and we will click close. So the table is not yet saved, right? We will click the save. So click yes and close it. We will refresh this, and if you see the symbol, this is primary key, the key icon, and when it is in gray color, it is a foreign key, and this one will be the check constraint. I mean the unique key constraint. Why? Because it forms an index, right? So unique key constraint. All right, now we defined a foreign key constraint. So it's a notation to specify primary key with PK, foreign key with FK, and unique key with UK. So these are all the prefix, but you can name as you like. But since this is the standard, by looking at the name of the constraint, we can know what constraint it is. And when you are in a SQL Server Management Studio, these icons will tell what type of constraint it was. Right, now we created the foreign key constraint. So now the employee rows points to department row. So this will be useful later when we are writing the join queries. We will learn that later, but for now we set up a relation. Now let's see. Here in the department table, if you see, we have only 3 departments and the IDs are 1, 2, 3. Now we will edit the employee table. There are 2 null entries, right? Let's try with constraint violation. Let me set 6. There is no department department 6. So when I try to commit this data, you will be getting an error. No row was updated. The data in row 5 was not committed. This is the row 5 data. Here also you can see that not committed. Error source, error message, the update statement conflicted with the foreign key constraint. Why? Because we are stating that the employee belongs to department ID 6, but department ID 6 is not there in the department. The department table contains only 3 rows. The department ID 1, 2, and 3. Alright, now let's put this analysis in sales department. And when I click outside, you can see the row is accepted now. Now let's insert a sample row. So insert into test.employee values Manish Kulkarni. Here if you see, I am specifying department ID as 2. This is accepted. Why? Because department ID 2 exists. The department 2 is purchase department. Let's insert one more row. So this time I'm specifying department ID as 10, and if I try to insert, the insert statement conflicted with the foreign key constraint. So same error you are getting here. Previously we tried the design view, so you got a dialog box. Here the message tells that statement terminated and insert doesn't proceed. Even if you perform an update and try to set a different department that doesn't exist, then you will get the same error. We already saw that with the edit, but we did that through the edit top 200 row. Alright, that's all here with the primary and foreign key. Thank you for watching. Bye.